eyeball, we are having the slides of the cornea. Cornea is transparent structure as well as it is avascular. The transparency is because of which structure that we will see in the slide, histology slide of the cornea. The epithelium, outermost layer, that is the epithelium. That is the non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. The characteristic of this epithelium is basal cells are cuboidal in nature, then 4 to 5 layers of round or ovoid cells, and most superficial cells are squamous in nature and they are having flattened nuclei. So, non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Second layer is transparent membrane-like structure, that is the Bowman's membrane. Bowman's membrane. Third layer, that is the largest layer. It contains about 90% of the thickness of the cornea, and that layer is known as corneal stroma, or the other name is substantia propria. It is made up of 50 to 60 layers of collagen fiber bundles. Collagen fiber bundle that arrange highly regularly manner. Their arrangement of these collagen fibers are highly regular so that it gives transparency to the cornea. In between the bundles, there are nuclei of few fibroblasts are also present. Deep to the corneal stroma. Fourth layer is Descemet's membrane. Descemet's membrane, that is also homogeneous membrane-like structure. And last layer, innermost layer, that is the low cuboidal or flattened cells, that is known as corneal endothelium. Corneal endothelium, because it is made up of epithelium, so it is known as corneal endothelium. So on each side, outer as well as inner side epithelium, then two membranes means external limiting membrane or Bowman's membrane, internal limiting membrane or Descemet's membrane, and middle portion thickest layer is the corneal stroma. So these are the layers of cornea outer to the inner aspect. Now the other portion, if we take the section from this posterior 4/5 of the eyeball, it contains choroid as well as retina. So first we will see about the histology of choroid. It is made up of outer to the inner aspect. The layers are, outermost is suprachoroidal lamina. Suprachoroidal lamina, or it is also known as lamina fusca. Suprachoroid lamina or lamina fusca. It is made up of connective tissue. Deep to the connective tissue, that is a vascular layer. Vascular layer. Again, it contains the loose connective tissue with large blood vessels. Third layer is of choriocapillary layer, because it contains the capillaries, so the name is given choriocapillary layer, that is responsible for the diffusion from this layer to the deeper portion, means to the retina. And outermost layer, fourth layer, that is the basal layer or basal lamina, or the other name is Bruch's membrane, that acts as a basal lamina for the deeper structure, means deep to the choroid there will be the retina. So the first layer of retina, that is attached on this basal lamina or Bruch's membrane, means the layers in the choroid from outer to the inner, the lamina fusca, then vascular layer, choriocapillary layer, and the Bruch's membrane. So that is about the histology of choroid. Now the histology of retina. The outermost layer that is attached with the choroid, that is a pigment cell layer. Pigment cell layer. The cuboidal epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium with microvilli. Within the microvilli, the processes of the next layer means the layer that contains the neurons or cells of the retina. These are the rods and cones. The process is rod shaped, so these cells are known as rod, and the peripheral process is cone shaped, so that cells are known as cones. So the processes of rods and cones are attached with the microvilli of the pigment cell. So that is the first layer is pigment cell. Next layer, second layer is made up of the processes of rods and cones. So that is the second layer. Third layer, that is known as external limiting membrane. That is a process from the cells. The cells are known as Muller cells, connective tissue cells. So the process that forms the outer limiting membrane. Deep to the membrane, there is nuclear layer, external nuclear layer, that is made up of nuclei of rods and cones. Nuclei of rods and cones, that forms the external nuclear layer. Deep to it, the external plexiform layer. External plexiform layer. Plexiform means network like. This layer is made up of processes of the cells. No nuclei involved in this layer, only processes means the process of rods and cones and the process of horizontal cells. They form the synapse with the rods and cones. So this process forms the external plexiform layer. Deep to the plexiform layer, that is again the nuclear layer. That is the internal nuclear layer. Internal nuclear layer. The nuclei present in this layer are of the horizontal cells, deep to it the amacrine cells, and the bipolar cells. Bipolar cells. Difference in between these two nuclear layers, the external nuclear, the size of nuclei are small. In compare with the internal nuclear, the size of the nuclei are larger. That you can differentiate easily in the slide also. So that is the internal nuclear layer. Now internal plexiform layer. Internal plexiform layer, that is made up of processes of the cells present in the nuclear layer, means process of bipolar cells, process of amacrine cells, and the peripheral process of, this is the ganglion cell layer. So internal plexiform made up of process of amacrine, ganglion, and bipolar cells. Deep to it, the eighth layer, that is the ganglion cell layer. It contains only the neurons, that is the ganglion cell. The peripheral process goes towards the internal plexiform layer, and the central process, they unite and forms the optic nerve. Optic nerve. So optic nerve is nothing but the central process of the ganglion cells. So this optic nerve, all the axons unite and forms the optic nerve. And last layer, that is formed by the processes from the Muller cells, that is the internal limiting membrane. So these are the layers present in the retina. Again, pigment cell layer, layers of rods and cones, external nuclear layer, external plexiform layer, internal nuclear and internal plexiform, then ganglion cell layer, axon that forms the optic nerve, and internal limiting membrane. So that is all about the histology of the retina. Thank you. Applied histology related with the eyeball. Arcus senilis, that is the whitish ring around the cornea. It occurs into the old age due to the degenerative changes. Corneal graft. Cornea can be transplant or graft from the donated eyeball into the human being. This is the most common and most successful graft or organ transplant. Why? Because as we have seen, the cornea is avascular structure. So there is no chance of rejection of the grafted tissue because of the absence of blood supply. In relation with the lens, the applied aspect is cataract, that is most common mainly into the aged people. Presbyopia, that is because of the difficulty in accommodation, and the contact lens. The cornea is avascular, so it receives the nutrition as well as oxygen from the by means of diffusion. So if the contact lens that covers the cornea, that must be permeable to the air, so that cornea receives the oxygen from the contact lens. Cataract, that can be clear or operated by means of the surgery. The lens capsule that is remain within the eyeball, and the inner tissue that is removed by means of the surgery, and plastic lens can be implanted within the lens capsule. Last one is the glaucoma. If the drainage of aqueous humor is disturbed, that leads to increased intraocular pressure. Intraocular pressure is increased. That leads to severe pain because it leads to pressure over the cornea as well as the retina. So that is a glaucoma. Pressure, increased intraocular pressure, that leads to severe pain because of the highly sensitive cornea. So these are the applied aspects related with the eyeball. Thank you.